How to talk to people in pairs. Lena deeply desired to speak English fluently, a dream that often felt miles away. Every morning, she faced her reflection, rehearsing simple phrases, but a profound hesitation lingered. The thought of uttering a single incorrect word paralyzed her, creating a significant barrier to progress. This fear of making a mistake shadowed her daily existence. Her daily routine involved extensive English story reading, listening to podcasts, and diligently memorizing vocabulary. She devoured complex narratives, appreciating the nuanced prose. However, when it came to speaking, her throat tightened. This constant internal battle, the struggle between knowing and doing, was a formidable adversary. "I don't want to make a mistake," she'd whisper, her voice barely audible. Yet, she always did, or at least, she perceived she did. Each tiny error felt like a giant, public failure, amplifying her self-consciousness. This constant worry sabotaged her confidence, hindering any real attempts at conversation. People often advised her, the best way to learn English is to speak it. This wisdom echoed in her mind, a frustrating truth she couldn't embody. She understood the concept, but translating it into actual, confident speech remained her biggest hurdle. How to speak with people. Her learning journey felt solitary, confined to textbooks and audio files. She wished for a magic formula, a secret technique to unlock her tongue. The struggle was real, a quiet battle fought within her mind every single day. She yearned for genuine English talking practice. One day, while researching online for How to Learn English, she stumbled upon an article emphasizing how to talk to people in pairs. It highlighted the benefits of peer interaction in a low-pressure environment. This concept sparked a tiny flicker of hope within her anxious heart. Could this really be the solution? The idea seemed promising yet terrifying. The thought of speaking directly, even with just one person, brought back the familiar wave of apprehension. Still, her desperate yearning for fluency pushed her to explore this new avenue further. She hesitantly joined an online language exchange platform, seeking a partner. Her fingers trembled as she typed a brief introduction, outlining her goal, improving conversational English. The courage required for this simple action felt monumental, a significant step forward. A message quickly arrived from a friendly stranger named Alex, also eager to practice. His profile mentioned a shared love for English story reading, which instantly put Lena at ease. A small smile touched her lips, a rare occurrence during her English studies. Their first video call was nerve-wracking. Lena's heart pounded, convinced she would stumble over every word. She took a deep breath, recalling the article's advice, "It's about communication, not perfection." This mantra helped calm her racing thoughts slightly. Alex greeted her warmly, his voice kind and patient. He started with simple questions, easing into the conversation. Lena found herself responding, slowly at first, but then with increasing fluidity. The pressure she usually felt seemed to dissipate gradually. She made several grammatical errors, fumbled for words, and mispronounced some sounds. Yet, Alex didn't interrupt or correct her harshly. Instead, he listened intently, offering gentle rephrasing when needed, which Lena found incredibly encouraging and helpful. This was different. This wasn't a test, it was genuine practice. How to talk to people in pairs suddenly made perfect sense. The shared vulnerability of two learners trying their best created an atmosphere of mutual support, free from judgment. After their first session, Lena felt exhausted but exhilarated. She hadn't been perfect, far from it, but she had spoken. Real words, real sentences, real conversation. This small victory ignited a spark of self-belief she hadn't felt in a long time. They scheduled regular sessions, making English talking practice a consistent part of her week. Each meeting built upon the last, strengthening her confidence bit by bit. The once dreaded act of speaking slowly transformed into something she anticipated. Her daily day's struggle with self-doubt began to lessen its grip. The fear of mistakes still loomed, but it no longer paralyzed her entirely. She started seeing errors not as failures, but as valuable signposts for improvement, guiding her learning. "I don't want to make a mistake, but I always do," was a thought she slowly rephrased in her mind. Now, it became, "I will make mistakes, and that's how I learn." This mental shift was monumental, a true breakthrough in her approach. Alex also introduced her to new English story reading resources, suggesting different genres and authors. They discussed the plots, characters, and themes, which naturally expanded their conversational topics. Reading became an even richer experience. Discussing stories helped her articulate complex ideas and use new vocabulary in context. It wasn't just about reading words, it was about understanding and expressing, connecting the written language to spoken communication. This fusion was powerful. Lena realized that "why you must read English" extended beyond comprehension. Reading provided the fuel for conversation, the background knowledge to engage deeply. It gave her more to talk about, making how to speak with people easier. Slowly, Lena started applying her newfound courage beyond her paired sessions. She began participating more actively in online English forums, typing out her thoughts without excessive self-correction. Her fingers flew across the keyboard more freely. Her pronunciation, once a major source of anxiety, gradually improved through Alex's gentle corrections and her own diligent listening. She started mimicking native speakers, consciously working on intonation and rhythm. The sounds felt more natural. The best way to learn English, she concluded, wasn't a single method but a synergistic blend. Reading, listening, and crucially, speaking, all intertwined. Each element reinforced the others, creating a robust learning ecosystem for her. Lena learned to laugh at her own mistakes, realizing that Alex also made them, and it was perfectly fine. These shared moments of imperfection fostered a stronger bond, turning a learning partnership into a genuine friendship. Her journey showed that how to learn English wasn't about seeking perfection, but about embracing the messy, imperfect, yet incredibly rewarding process of communication. Every stumble was a stepping stone, every correction a lesson learned. She started noticing her progress not just in her ability to speak, but in her confidence levels overall. The fear of judgment that once consumed her began to shrink, replaced by a quiet self-assurance that radiated outwards. This change permeated other areas of her life too. She felt more confident expressing herself in her native language, more willing to take risks. English learning had become a catalyst for personal growth, a truly transformative experience. How to speak with people evolved from a daunting question into a joyful pursuit. She sought opportunities to practice, striking up conversations with tourists or joining local English-speaking clubs. The world became her classroom. Her daily day's struggle transformed into daily day's progress. The small victories accumulated, creating a powerful momentum. She understood that consistency, even more than intensity, was the key to sustained improvement in any skill. Lena became an advocate for paired learning, recommending how to talk to people in pairs to anyone struggling with conversational English. She shared her story, emphasizing the power of a supportive partner in breaking through barriers. The joy she found in English story reading deepened. Now, when she read a compelling narrative, she could imagine discussing it animatedly with Alex, anticipating new vocabulary and interesting phrases to try out later. She sometimes even read aloud during their sessions, practicing her fluency and pronunciation, receiving immediate feedback. This active engagement with stories solidified her understanding and improved her spoken rhythm significantly. Lena realized that why you must read English was not just for vocabulary or grammar, but for cultural immersion and building conversational topics. It provided a rich tapestry of ideas to weave into discussions. Her understanding of how to learn English expanded. It was not just about rote memorization or endless grammar exercises. It was about creating meaningful connections with the language and with other speakers. The fear, "I don't want to make mistake but I always why," was replaced by curiosity. What mistake did I make? How can I improve it next time? This shift from self-criticism to constructive analysis was pivotal. Her daily day's struggle didn't disappear entirely, but its nature changed. It became a productive challenge rather than a paralyzing fear. Every new word, every fluent sentence, felt like a hard-earned victory. She learned that authentic communication, even with errors, was far more valuable than silence born of fear. The willingness to try, to be vulnerable, was the true measure of progress in her English journey. How to speak with people transformed from a source of anxiety into an exciting opportunity. Each conversation was a chance to grow, to connect, and to express herself more fully in a new language. The advice, "the best way to learn English is to speak it," finally resonated deeply within her soul. She wasn't just hearing it, she was living it. Her experiences validated this simple yet profound truth. Lena's journey became a testament to resilience and perseverance. She discovered that mastering a language wasn't about avoiding pitfalls, but about navigating them gracefully and learning from every single one. She decided to volunteer at a local community center, helping new immigrants practice English. Her own struggles made her incredibly empathetic, and she found immense joy in guiding others through similar challenges. How to talk to people in pairs became her go-to advice for her students. She set up practice sessions, creating a supportive environment where making mistakes was encouraged and celebrated as part of learning. Witnessing their progress mirrored her own journey, reinforcing the power of consistent, low-pressure practice. She saw their fear gradually dissipate, replaced by burgeoning confidence, just as hers had. She encouraged them with English story reading, showing how stories offer a rich context for new vocabulary and cultural understanding. Why you must read English, she'd explain, is for the world it opens. Lena also taught them about the daily day's struggle, acknowledging that some days would be harder than others. But she emphasized that showing up, even on tough days, was the real victory. Her own English talking practice continued, never truly ending. She understood that fluency was a journey, not a destination, requiring constant engagement and a curious mind. Learning was a lifelong adventure. She reflected on how far she had come from the timid person who feared every single word. The transformation was profound, a testament to the power of consistent effort and strategic learning. Her once silent voice now resonated with clarity and confidence. She could express her thoughts, share her opinions, and connect with people from diverse backgrounds, all thanks to her perseverance. Lena's story is a powerful reminder that, "I don't want to make mistake but I always why," is a common fear. But overcoming it is possible by shifting perspective and embracing every single learning opportunity. She looked back at her initial hesitations and smiled. The path to fluency wasn't linear or perfect, but it was incredibly rewarding, filled with small triumphs and continuous growth. Her spirit soared. So, if you're asking how to learn English and feeling overwhelmed, remember Lena's journey. Start small, find a partner, and embrace the beautiful messiness of language acquisition. Your voice matters. Engage in English story reading not just for enjoyment, but as a springboard for conversation. The more input you have, the more you'll have to talk about during your practice sessions. Understand that the daily day's struggle is universal for learners. It's not a sign of failure but a normal part of growth. Acknowledge it, then take one more step forward, however small. Remember, why you must read English is to open new worlds, and how to speak with people is the key to sharing your own. Your journey is unique and equally valuable. Embrace English talking practice with enthusiasm, especially how to talk to people in pairs. Let go of perfectionism. Speak, make mistakes, learn, and watch your confidence and your fluency blossom.